Good evening. My name is Annette, and I am your host here at CoachingU4U. Thanks for joining us this evening. I appreciate your time, energy, and effort in being with us. Tonight, I just want to talk a little bit about, leaving things unsaid and not really being clear about the things we're saying or why we're saying them. And my office here is a little out of whack, but I think we can get to where we need to be. And in talking about that, I think one of the most important things, that I've come to understand is how important it is when it matters not to leave things unsaid. Leaving things unsaid is incredibly disruptive to our energy, to our hearts, to our minds. I am here at Coaching You for You to just offer a little bit of inspiration and motivation tonight. What doesn't apply, let it fly. Here at Coaching You for You, we're not experts. We're sharing our experience, strength, and hope. And that is life on life's terms, coupled with certifications and education and work experience. And so the opportunity is here for all of us. And for me, learning is from the cradle to the grave. I am continuously learning new things. It's okay to start over. It's okay to re-image yourself. And don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. Just be consistent, be transparent, and be honest with yourself. Good evening, Coaching You for You family. Leaving things unsaid. Again, I am sharing my experience, strength, and hope. What doesn't apply, let it fly. When we leave things unsaid, we have to remember that life is short. And some of the things that we should say and we leave unsaid, we might not ever get the opportunity to say again. You might not ever get the opportunity to tell somebody that even though you can't be together, you love them. You might not ever get the opportunity to tell a family member, I hurt your feelings, I apologize for it, and I'll be careful about the things I say and how I say them. Because sometimes, well, most often, it's not what we say, it's how we say it. These are the things that matter. And in leaving them unsaid, many times I didn't give myself a chance, to heal or grow from an experience because I left things unsaid. Do you ever get to a certain point and you've had a conversation with somebody and you get home and you go, gosh, I wish I had said, even if sometimes, be honest, it was just to tell them off. But there are times when we have situations where we want to say things and we don't because we spend so much time thinking about how it's going to come off to other people. As long as you say it in your truth and in honesty and with some integrity and character and some loving and caring and kindness, every little thing's going to be all right. So life is too short to leave things unsaid. And when we leave them unsaid, we clog our pores, our energy pores. And we forget that, in taking care of ourselves, a huge part of self-care is remembering, to be good to ourselves and to mind our manners and what we say, do, and think with other people. And so in leaving things unsaid, it's not always an opportunity or the energy to check somebody. Sometimes it's the opportunity and energy to check ourselves, to improve what we're doing, how we're doing it, and who we're doing it with. In leaving things unsaid, can really have a negative impact on our health, mentally and emotionally. My water, mentally and emotionally. And that's important. And it's important because, you know, holding things inside and not fully expressing ourselves, for our wellness is like building a power keg that eventually will explode. And it happens, and you see it happen all the time when the kindest person just disrupts and is absolutely out of control, when that's not typically their behavior. It's because they've been holding things inside. And I know that because I've had some of those instances, and I'm sure if you're honest with yourself, you have too, where I didn't say things and I let the pressure cooker build. And this is why today I practice, self-care and healing from the inside out, because I know what it's like to be under pressure. I know what it's like to leave things unsaid. I know what it's like not to have the emotional storage because for healthy things, because I've stored so many unhealthy things. And so, in working with that tonight, what I want to share with you is how important it is to not leave things unsaid. If you want somebody to know that you're happy, tell them. If you want somebody to know that you're unhappy, tell them. If you are suffering from depression, and God knows I know that story from having suffered so much grief and loss. Family members, my mother, my twin sister, and my father and my brother and another sister and a niece and a cousin and an aunt and an uncle. you know it becomes overwhelming, and sometimes grief can lead to depression unchecked. There are stages to grief. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And so leaving those things unsaid creates a pressure cooker. Now remember, I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope. And in sharing my experience, strength, and hope, I can say that I have a coach, a life coach, and I deal with a lot of the things that have hurt me and a lot of the things that have made me happy and a lot of things that have made me sad. And I've become better at expressing myself. And that's important. Express yourself. Let the pressure off. Your emotions will thank you for it later when you're better able to handle them. Sometimes the pressure cooker is so much, we don't realize we're under pressure. We don't realize that we're not expressing ourselves until the keg explodes. And it's like, whoa, where'd that come from? Right inside of me. And I had to learn that, the less I expressed myself and my true feelings, the more things were left unsaid and the more the pressure cooker built. And so I've spent a lot of time over the past 10 years, trying to get to know me from the inside out, to accept all that I am, and to learn how to adequately express myself without crushing others. And that takes practice. I have to practice things. I'm not an automatic, perfectionist. I have to practice being good at some things, like expressing myself clearly and succinctly without dragging it out. Like, hey, you hurt my feelings. And you hurt my feelings because you did A, B, C, D, and E. And oftentimes in expressing ourselves, people are not always going to be comfortable with it. Express yourself anyway. Just don't be discourteous and rude. There's never a reason to be. And if you find that it is, there are some other things you might have to work through. But I learned for me in expressing myself that I'm happier. I'm a lot more content. And I know that when I've said to you, I don't like orange soda, and you bring me orange soda, I've clearly articulated to you that I don't like it, or I say to you, I don't mind communicating. I just don't want all of the communication or the majority of it or even a quarter of it to be by text. I want to talk. I want to share. I want to, be able to express myself. I really mean that. And so if you're not listening to me and not hearing me, how you perceive what I say is not the issue. It's how clearly I articulate what it is I am feeling, thinking, and I want to express to you in any given situation. It can it could be with my kids. I had to learn that, growing up, my mother would say things and not finish a sentence and then come back and say, didn't I tell you A, B, C, D, and E? And I would say, well, Mom, you only said this. She said you should have thought about the rest of it. You know, so growing up was interesting and, learned a lot of good things, some good, some bad, and some in between, but I learned. And one of the things that I've come to understand and I want to talk to you about tonight is protecting your emotional storage. Express yourself. Don't be afraid to talk about what's going on with you. Don't leave things unsaid. Don't think there are so many times when I intended to reach out to somebody, or I intended to tell somebody I loved them and I didn't, and they died. And I remember how I felt, you know, about that. I remember, intending to tell people certain things and I didn't, and it got away from me, and then I didn't have the chance. Sometimes in relationships, good, better, and different relationships, we fail to say what's actually on our mind because, we want to go along to get along. And sometimes that's not a bad idea, but it's not the whole idea. I had to learn that I have to express myself. I have to be able to tell you how I feel. And how you accept that is okay. And if you don't want to hear it, that's okay too. But it won't be for lack of me trying. If I tell you I felt betrayed, I felt betrayed. How you feel about it is not the issue. It's what I'm feeling. And I'm talking about what I'm feeling. I'm talking about being able to protect my emotional storage because we all have emotional storage. And I want to be sure that I'm not leaving things unsaid. I want to be sure that I am not failing to tell people I love you. I'm not failing to tell people I miss you. I'm not failing to tell people I care about you. I'm not failing to tell people I'm not going to do that because I'm uncomfortable in that situation. Doesn't mean I think I'm better than the situation. It just means I'm uncomfortable in it and it's not something I want to do. I'm learning every day more and more how to make sure that pressure cooker lets off steam in a good way and that I express myself and not allow unsaid things to build up and take up space that I can't afford to share. And so just for today, all day, moisturize your feet, your hands, mind your business, and drink water. This is one of those times where we want you to put all of our business in the street. Tell them about Coaching You for You. Inhale the inspiration. Don't leave things unsaid. Protect your emotional storage and just be good to you. Protect your energy. When I tell you the energy you have inside is the energy you give off no matter what you attempt to portray. Your inside energy is what comes outside. And so what comes outside is what matters because it's an inside out job. Protect your emotional storage. Watch that pressure cooker. Share and express yourself and just be good to you. Your feelings matter too. I am your host here at CoachingU4U. My name is Annette Lartigue. I want to thank you for joining us this evening. I want to ask you to see us on Wednesdays at 8:05 p.m. here at CoachingU4U. Thanks for joining us and have a wonderful evening. We appreciate you. Good night. Oh my, we're still live. Good night.